One of the things people often ask us about is how to take a photograph and turn it into a sketch. Well, there's all kinds of filters you can try, but I saw this effect somewhere, and I apologize that I'd love to give you the website where I first saw this, but I'm afraid I don't recall. It's one of those things you come across. Anyway, here's a pretty interesting way to turn something into a sketch and using layers so that it's very flexible. I'm going to use the keyboard shortcuts here. First, I'm going to press Command or Control J to duplicate the layer. Then Command Shift or Control Shift U to desaturate, which gives me a gray copy. Then I duplicate again using Command or Control J, and then press Command or Control I to invert. So I end up with a colored layer, gray layer, and then an inverse of the gray layer. Now the colored layer is really not going to do anything. It just simply means we have that backup plan to go back to. Now with this top layer selected, we change the blending mode to Color Dodge. And you know you're on the right track when your image turns almost entirely white. You might see odd little bits of gray here and there, but usually it's mostly white. Now to get the sketch effect, we use some blurring filter. We could use Gaussian blur, we could use despeckle. I'm going to use motion blur, just as this example here. And then as you see, I'll just move this a little bit so you can see what's happening. You just experiment with different either high amounts to get this kind of a sketch effect, or much lower amounts makes it look much more like kind of a pencil sketch. So you can basically experiment with this. At this point, you can play around with opacity. We could even take the color layer, duplicate it, and move that right to the top, and then play around with things like its opacity, make that really low, so we get kind of a watercolor sketch or crayon sketch, something like that. So lots of room to experimentation, but the best part of all is the original layer is unaffected, and all these things could be merged together and played with. You can even add an overlay layer with a pattern to get it more sketchy-like, but that gives you the basic idea just how to start with an image, and a few steps get on your way towards kind of a sketchy look. I'm Dave Cross. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again next time soon on another episode of Video Tips for Photoshop.